Good afternoon, gamers. This is the Activision Call of Duty Mobile Community Challenge Season 3 presented by AEL, where we will be showcasing the exemplary COD mobile community heralding from the Australian and New Zealand region. I'm Mendrix, and my partner in crime and commentator specialist for this competition is Mao. How are you going, my friend?
I'm doing good, thank you. What about you?
Mate, I am psyched and ready to get into this competition. And as this is the start of the competition, the teams will be engaging in the group phase. They'll be facing off in best of fives over the next few weeks to decide who makes it to playoffs. The map pool will consist of Summit, Standoff, Raid, Takeoff, Firing Range, Hackney Yard, and Crossfire. Now, Mao, what's your favorite map, mate?
Standoff for sure.
Come on, man. You need to give me more than that. Elaborate
Yeah.
why.
It doesn't really matter what mode it is, search and destroy, domination, hardpoint, whatever you're going to be playing, there's no really unfair advantage to each side. It's always balanced. There's always great gunfights, and there's still opportunities to go on good streaks.
Excellent, good to hear. Well, with that said, let's actually talk about what game modes these guys will be playing. And it will be two hardpoints, two search and destroys, and a domination match in between. Each team will get a choice of what map they prefer for both hardpoint and search and destroy game modes, and be alternating from team A to team B. They'll also have the opportunity to ban away one of the maps that they feel perhaps they're not going to be having the best performance on. Now, in order to keep things interesting in this competition, there will of course be restrictions. Who would have thought? A number of guns, operator skills, lethal utility, tactical utility, perks, weapon perks, and score streaks will be removed or will be unable to be used in this competition. Now, Mao, what are the ones that really stick out to you in terms of those restricted abilities and skills?
Well, the main one that I normally see that's commonly banned, which I think deserves to be the most banned, is definitely persistence. Just because, like, when you die, you don't lose your score streaks, and score streaks can be very powerful, especially during the end game where it could be neck and neck. So when people are getting free VTOLs, they're getting free Goliaths, they're getting free advanced UAVs, all the powerful streaks, it doesn't really show much of their gun skill, but it sees who can get the streaks the fastest. So the reason we ban these streaks is so that we can show the players in the prime gun skill and not just free score streaks.
No, it completely makes sense to that. The idea, like I said, this is to keep it interesting. And what we really want to do is make sure we're highlighting the player's skills, not their ability to really just push one button and, like you said, let a Goliath go off and go completely
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly.
So that being said there as well, guys, we also want to have a look at the quick schedule for today, or I'll just discuss it with you. Round 1 will be XF versus K&D. Round 2 will be Mindfreak versus IFM. And round 3 will be XF versus Disrespect. Now, no pun intended here, no disrespect to the other teams, though. We do kind of have an El Clasico in this round here. Mindfreak versus IFM. They have been pretty dominant throughout the previous season's competitions. Mal, can you give me some, history into that?
Yes, since basically the start of CODM OCE, since I had a comp scene, there's always been these two teams that have always been at the top, and they go by the names of Mindfreak, also known as Reaper Killer, also known as CBK Reapers at one point. They've always been up the top competing with IFM. So what we're going to be seeing is we're going to be seeing battle of the two biggest teams, and I'm interested to see how it goes out. In the first AEL season, I'm pretty certain that the only map that Mindfreak dropped was one in the finals. So it's going to be seeing how they're going to be able to perform today.
I think one of the good things about this competition is, of course, it will be going over the next couple of weeks. And I know for a fact in a number of different games that I've, managed to have the privilege to watch over throughout the competitions and the way tournaments play out, is that you do find that some teams do have the ability to incrementally improve throughout that competition. We might see a bit of a rise of XF or Disrespect. Crazier things have happened. Now, is that a possibility? Do you feel coming through into this competition? Will we actually get to see guys really amend themselves to the meta, understand what they need to do with these restrictions, and perhaps pull some upsets against Mindfreak and IFM?
I definitely feel like we're going to be seeing a few newer teams come to the top, especially since I haven't seen most of the a majority of the new teams perform that much yet. I'm interested to see what they're able to pull off, seeing how they're able to adjust to the restrictions that we've implemented, and just
Mhm.
see if they can slay out.
So that being said, as well, I mean, like you said, we put these restrictions into place. There's a number of guns and weapons that you can't use. Can you give me a rundown, perhaps, what would be the meta guns right now? I mean, as they do change from time to time, basically, you will always have your staples, but something that perhaps these players might be bringing a little bit new into the season.
Right now, I definitely know that the main weapons that these players are going to be using will be the QXR, the QQ9, the PP19 Bison, and also the
Mhm.
new Holger that came out. Apparently, that's a pretty solid weapon of choice.
Mhm.
And there's also been some ARs that people have been using, such as the AK-117, the DRH, the Man of War. So right now, we're in a very versatile meta where you can pick up any gun practically and slay out.
Well, it's pretty crazy that you think you can say that, because obviously that means there's a number of different strategies these guys can implement coming into it. And of course, with the vast way that you can actually change your weapons up, make those customizations, change the attachments, a number of things you can really do. You can actually probably start to pull a bit of a surprise out of all these different weapons that some of these players haven't really got a chance to test out to the extremes. I mean, limit testing really is I honestly feel one of the hallmarks of amazing players when they do start to really take a bit of a stretch out onto the field and show them what they're capable of. Is there any particular weapon yourself right now that you just been you feel abusing a little bit out there in these game modes?
Oh yes, right now I've been obsessing over the QXR. It's just got an insane fire rate, low recoil. It's just everything you want. It's got low hip fire for when you're in those desperate, like point blank situations. It's got a large magazine with 50 bullets that I like to use. I personally prefer the extended mag just because I like to have as much bullets as I can. On most of my guns, I'm putting on the biggest mag there is. And it's just solid. It's got solid damage. It's got a great range, and it can all some most of the times it can also be used as an AR while being an SMG.
There you go. So a little bit of tips coming through from Mao there, guys. Don't steal them right off the bat. He still needs to win some of his matches as well. He's out there. Uh, we do have the game modes picked up, or the maps here actually. For round one, we will see Summit for Hardpoint. Then it will be followed through with Search and Destroy in Standoff. For the Domination, it will be Raid. Then the second, or the fourth game mode, Hardpoint, will be Takeoff. And then finally, Search and Destroy Firing Range. Now, when you look at these particular matches, or when I actually have a quick look at them, it seems to be Summit, Standoff, really seems to be the favorites for most of these teams. Any particular reason why?
Uh, I, for Summit, what I've realized is that it's a very close ranged map, so it'll be less in favor of the snipers and sort of not really beneficial for ARs, but for shotguns and SMGs, it's gonna be prime. That's where we're really gonna see a lot of close quarter action. And for Standoff, it's just a very versatile map. So there's going to be a lot of sniping, there's going to be a lot of AR, there's going to be a lot of SMG, there's going to be a lot of LMG, and there's some chances to shotgun in there. And personally, I just feel like it's just that's why it's my favorite map, just because it's so balanced.
Well, the other thing to take into account, these are best of five, so we might not even get to see the second Hardpoint and the second Search and Destroy. And when I'm looking at that, typically that seems to be Firing Range, Hackney Yard, a little bit of Crossfire. Now, these particular maps probably seem to be outside of the player preferences, not just for one team in particular, but seems to be for all the teams across the board. Is it because, again, it doesn't have that close range or the close quarter combat that the other maps do offer, or because they have some different reason why they would perhaps not be as favorable?
Well, personally, I see that a lot of the maps that, yeah, basically what you said, most of the maps that you stated aren't really personal player preference just because of the unbalance in the maps. But I would say for firing range, which is often outside, that's definitely one of the player favorites. Back when we only had three main scrim maps that we always used to do, it was always Standoff for S&D. It was also firing range for Domination, and it was Raid for Hardpoint. And I know that a lot of teams also enjoy S&D firing range, which is also, personally, I also do enjoy that just because there's a lot of opportunities for picks with snipers. There's also a chance to get up close and personal with shotguns, SMGs, and also good ranges for ARs. So I do see why players can enjoy that map as well, sometimes even over S&D Standoff. And for Hardpoint, it's also a pretty good map with some questionable spawns sometimes, but that's just over Hardpoint everywhere. A lot of Hardpoint has questionable spawns. So firing
Yeah.
range will probably be one of the favorites that are in outside of the three that are mainly going to be played. But yeah,
Well, guys, thank you as well very much for your patience while we are getting the team set up. We obviously want to do, as much as possible to make sure that everything is going to be the best viewing experience. Sometimes the players don't have everything all together. That's completely fine in that sense of things, but this is why it is a community challenge. We're all here to have a little bit of fun. And of course, there is that amazing prize pool. Of course, first place taking away $3,000. Now, Mao, what would you do with $3,000 if you just got that as a team, right? Not just for yourself. Like, you have to think about it. It's between the 5 players. I think the best value you can get is by perhaps doing a group round. What do you reckon's the case in that one? What would you do with $3,000 with your team?
I reckon I would definitely be splitting it up amongst my team. I reckon all the players that play, they all deserve it equally. They've all worked
Yeah.
hard for it. They've all played all the weeks of the rounds. And honestly, I feel like what we could do as a team together, it could be, I don't know, maybe we could go meet up with each other even if we're close by. I would definitely like to see that. It's always good to see when you're friends with people online for a while, when you can see them in real life, in person, which I know some teams have done. It's really nice to see.
Absolutely, and especially with the current global stance and all current global status. Really, it would be lovely to get out there, meet with your friends. Of course, we love to play the game, but at the same time, it's also good to meet up and have a bit of fun and just shake off a bit of those COVID blues. That being said, though, guys, we should be jumping into the game shortly. Is there anything in particular that you want to sort of give as advice to the players and gamers out there in particular before we jump in?
Uh, I just want to see the teams do their best, play the best that they can, and let's see who's deserving of the crown.
Absolutely. Well, without anything or without any further ado, we will be starting this competition. It will be Hardpoint Summit for the first round in match of XF versus KND. Please take it away, Mao.
Let's go. As we've just jumped into the match, we're going to see a lot of SMGs, just as I expected with Summit. We're going to see a Bison, we're going to see QQ9s, we're going to see QXRs, and yeah, that just seems to be what everyone's using right now. It looks like the Special Forces are going to be getting the hard point first, securing that easily. Right now, I'm on Josh the Pro. He's watching the top, which is looking very nice. Right now, the blue team seems to be very in control of the map control and the spawns right now. Only the red team has only got 2 kills on the board right now from one person, which seems they are doing. It looks like red team has made a break for the hard point. They're performing. They're getting back. That's for sure. As the next hard point comes through, it's definitely good to see what they're able to do. Right now, Neff takes out one of the players. Nice to see. It's going to be a big contest right here for the next hard point. Both teams going at it from the top, from the bottom. Okay. Right now, Team Red on the hard point, they're going to be locking it down pretty well. There's 3 of the blue players down the bottom, and they're going to be making a break. There's exchanges everywhere, both on the side. Smoke going down to, yeah, smoke. It looks like we're going to have blue players controlling the top. Never mind, red team takes control of that. Blue team on the hardpoint gets off it. Right now, red team has taken control of the hardpoint, definitely making up the time that they lost from the first hardpoint. Now, team blue back on the hardpoint. Right now, yep, we've got 2 on the hardpoint. They're setting up for next. It looks like team blue is going to be coming over to the next hardpoint. They've got it set up with 1 ready to contest. We're going to have a gunfight right here. Neff wins the gunfight. However, blue team is going to be spawning right next to the hardpoint, so that's going to be tougher for red team to catch up from that. Looks like we're going to have a break here. Never mind, we're going to have some exchanges with the Annihilator going off. Josh the Pro, 5 kills, 6 kills. And it looks like his Annihilator's ended. He's going to be holding that. And we've got 4 red players coming through to break the hard point. It's going to be tougher for them to break than blue team to hold, just because they got the spawns. Never mind. Red team is able to take over the spawns. We get a triple from Josh the Pro with a Pred missile. Hunter Killer targets Johnny. However, Discord gets the kill first. We're going to have 5 players from the blue team and 5 players from the red team, both attacking each other at the same time. We're going to have exchanges. We're going to have a sentry gun down from team blue. All right, well, 1 second. Let's take a look at the scores, the perks. So it looks like all of blue team is going to be going for hardline to get that extra 25 points whenever they get a kill, or just in general, 25 points anytime. And it looks like for red team, they're going to be running a lot of lightweight. Yes, all of them. There's going to be a lot of ghost to trick the enemies when they're on the UAVs, see them when they don't see them. And we're going to have we're going to have some alert, but mostly dead silence for the blue perk. We're going to have toughness for the green perk, but also a lot of quick fix. Right now, on the next hard point, we've got red team and blue team. They're both in control. It's going to, and it looks like, oh, red team's just taken control of the hard point. We're going to still have some blue members. Never mind, they're all dead. Right now, red team, they're going to be looking to add up for those points that they've already lost and they're behind in. The more than 30 points behind, it's going to be looking tough to see who can win this. If red team can keep playing as well as they do, then it looks like they're going to be able to outperform blue team. Let's see. All right, blue team on hardpoint. However, there is going to be a Sparrow from Neff right now as he takes over the hardpoint. However, he does get killed by a trophy system, which is very unfortunate. Right now, we've got a contested hardpoint with blue team taken over. Oh yes, okay. So XF is blue team and KND is red team. Okay. Right, we've got XF and KND both on the hard point. We've got KND jumping down to contest. However, Josh the Pro is going to get that hunter kill to connect. We're going to have another KND. We're going to have multiple KND members onto the hard point right now. And Josh the Pro right now, he's looking to slay out with his Annihilator, take out as much as he can. He's on a 7 streak right now. He's going crazy. Right now, for his score streaks, he's got a Hunter Killer, Pred Missile, and Sentry Gun, and he's all ready to use. However, he does get taken out by an enemy team. Next hardpoint is up, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of red team over there to be able to compete for that. However, they all get wiped out by KND. All right, we're going to have as soon as the hardpoint goes live, we're going to have red team mainly taking possession of it. However, XF does get possession of the hard point eventually. They've got nearly all the members close or near the hard point. And yeah, it looks like we're going to have another Annihilator from one of the oh, and that's the game. I didn't even realize.
There we go. I mean, coming on through, XF looking absolutely dominating against KND in that particular round. I really love the plays coming through from Josh the Pro. That man seemed to be on a mission when he was using that Annihilator. Can you give me a bit of, a little bit of a rundown on those particular players and sort of how those guns worked out in that scenario? As you can see, Josh the Pro, an amazing score, 5,304, really carrying the team for XF in that scenario.
Yes, it looks like Josh the Pro, he's slayed off. I saw him getting multiple feeds with his Annihilator, his operator skill. I saw him once on a 7 kill feed in a short time, and I also saw him once get 8 or 9. I can't even remember. It was something crazy. That's all I remember. I saw him using multiple hunter killers, which is like 500 points, which you're not going to be able to get in every single death, but you're still going to be able to get it a lot.
Well,
And
that being said, though, we are going to be moving now to Standoff, Search and Destroy. Now,
oh yes.
obviously, K&D need to, they're behind the eight ball here. They need to bring something back. Now, what would be your advice, or what would you say would be their way to get themselves back into this game, really show off XF, who seem to have a pretty dominant player in Josh the Pro?
I definitely recommend to K&D that they're just playing together, listening to each other, listening to the communications with each other, listening for game sense, where the enemy footsteps are, just getting all that information to put the gunfight on your side as much as possible.
Yeah, I love everything put through there, but it's just so difficult. I know I personally would be overloaded with a number of stimulus coming through. That idea of all those footsteps, all the explosions, all those gunshots in these close quarter combats. How do you really sort of, as a player, lock down that idea of understanding, isolating those sounds, understanding where those gunshots are coming from, and knowing what will be the next move first and how to communicate that? Is that something that's just pure practice over time, just playing out the game as much as possible, or is it something that you can actually train?
Well, it's definitely something that you can train. As you play more with your team, you're going to understand their play style. You're going to understand what they like to rush, what they like to play as the gun, what they like to just do anything. They like to what they like, what their callouts are, what they mean by their callouts,
Mhm.
and when there's an opportunity to like attack the bomb site, what they would do in that situation.
Now, what I love is the amount of smoke usage in that particular game, as you can tell, basically making it hard for most of these teams to get in on it. I love how when the players do commit to a specific specific hard point that they're going to be jumping on, they do it together. It's all five of them, all four of them just jumping, all five just jumping in immediately, locking that place down.
Oh
Uh,
yes.
is that something that is really trained as a team per se, that understanding of, hey, sometimes it is better to follow the bad decision altogether rather than to follow the correct decision and people be split off in that choice?
Well, it's definitely a good idea. When you're down in numbers, you could recuperate so that you could get the number advantage. Definitely try that. Or if you have any score streaks, you could definitely put those into use to even out the playing field when you're down in numbers.
Well, guys, we are just getting everything ready to roll. Again, this is XF versus KND. The second round will be Search and Destroy up against Search and Destroy on Standoff. Now, XF currently up one match against KND. We are going to be jumping now into that action. Now, please take it away.
I got you. Okay, so all the players are currently just loading into the game right now. We're going to be waiting on one more player. We're going to have XF on defense, and we're going to have KND on the attack. So it's definitely interesting to see what both teams are able to do in this circumstance. As the time is counting down, we're just going to be waiting. Okay, and we're off. Right now, oh no. Oh, okay, never mind. I was about to say K&D had two AFKs, but they're back. It's okay. Right now, we've already got one player in cubby for K&D. They're going to be going aggressively while another member does try to get the bomb down, which they're going to be doing right now, which is nice. We're going to have one of the XF members holding barrels so that the K&D member can't push any further. We're also going to be having two XF members pushing from behind with behind grannies and in mechanic, which is definitely interesting to see how they'll be able to use this flank. Right now, in a 5v3 situation, K&D's way. With some gunfights exchanged, we're going to have a 1v3. Now we're going to see how he's going to play it out. Never mind, they're dead. Really nice to see how K&D plays, especially after coming back from that number one round. I feel like S&D could be K&D's prime mode. We're going to see some nades exchanged at the start of the round with trophy systems blocking up a portion of them. We're going to see a gunfight go between Soz and Josh the Pro, with Neff gets a kill on Manda. We've got U-Dot going around behind Blue. Never mind, he goes back into Dali. We're going to have K&D rushing onto the bomb site. We're going to have shots exchanged from everywhere. It's a 2v2 situation. Right now, it's in XF's favor with them being right next to each other. However, K&D is split up. And there we go. XF takes the round. It's really good to see how they're sticking together. As we head into round 3, it's interesting to see what their main ideas are for this round. They've both experienced a win and a loss, so we're going to see how they adapt from those wins and what went right, what went wrong. We're going to have 3 members on A side from XF. We're going to see Neff taken out, dropping the bomb near A side. So as long as they can hold that, it should be okay for XF. We're going to have K&D right now grouping up all in Grannies and Courtyard. We're going to have multiple members from XF in Blue and Delhi. We're going to have U-Dot rushing forward, takes out one, gets taken out by another. We're now down to a 3v1 situation. Let's see what he can do. It looks like he's pinched right now and he gets killed. Okay, now with XF in the lead, it's curious to see what K&D are going to do to get that, to do what they did in round 1 where they won. Looks like we're going to be having an aggressive A push onto the side, and we're going to be having a 3v2 situation. However, K&D is down as they get taken off by each member, and they've just been pinched, unfortunately, so they're dead. Three to one XF's way. We're going to be seeing will K&D finally be able to adapt to the changes of XF? What is XF doing so well that K&D just can't beat? We're going to be having 3 stacked on the A site from XF. We're going to be having 3 behind Grannies from K&D. We're also going to be having a sniper at boxes to see if they can get any pigs from the A site. Right now, it's a 4v5 situation. XF's away once again. Right now, it looks like K&D is deciding what they're going to do. They're just planning next move. They're all just sitting around, seeing if anyone is going to rush anything. But right now, it looks like they're going to be going for a rush onto the A side. They take some gunfights, and they get one of them. However, they also get picked off. It's a 3v2 situation, 3v1 situation, and they win again. Right now, we're going to be looking at the leaderboard. We're going to have LK Josh the Pro at the top of the leaderboard once again with 4 kills to 5 deaths. Right now, it's looking like there's a lot of action going through mid right now. K&D 2v4 situation their way, 1v4 situation to K&D's way. Let's see. It looks like they're going to be doing. All right. So right now, it looks like K&D does know what they're doing on defense for sure. All right, XF, they've clearly lost that round by a majority. 1v4 situation is not what you want to have. And right now, it looks like we're going to be going from a different approach from K&D. We're going to have 1 rushing integrating, hope it gets picked off as there's 3 there. We're going to have Neff watching the B bomb site as they, right now, it looks like XF going for a back alley push. They've already reduced the numbers to a 5v2, which is very good for them. A 5v1 situation. Unless this last player can pull something from nowhere, it looks like it's going to be a round to XF. And unfortunately, he gets taken out after securing 1 kill. Alright, looks like hopefully K&D can learn from the mistakes and see what they're going to be doing right here. Looks like we're going to have another rush into Granny from UDOT. We're going to have multiple members, and he gets taken out by a sticky grenade. That's unfortunate. So we're already down to a 5v4 situation with K&D on the loss. I'm curious to see what K&D can do here. I really want to see them come back. Well, right now we got another push from Soz. However, he does get taken out as he picks 4 of them at the same time. We have Neff right now. He's about to get attacked from 3 players as he pushes on, as K&D pushes on to XF pushes onto the bomb site. Sorry, and once again K&D in a 3v1 situation as the bomb plan not going down yet. However, we are no bomb down yet. They do have the bomb though. They've got a shield turret that Sun has managed to put down on the side. Not much use, but hey, at least you got it. We're going to have a gunfight going down right here, and looks like he's going to be taking out the final K&D member and securing the win for XF. So right now they're up 2-0.
That is definitely a dominating performance once again from XF. And you could really see for a second there, I thought, hey, maybe there's a little bit of a defender's advantage coming into this particular round. But really from there, you could see the show put on from XF that it was not the case. They are just perhaps the better rounded team coming into this. Now, the next map will, of course, be Domination in Raid. So that's pretty good there. And you're just having a quick look at, of course, who's going to be the MVP for that round. Looks like it was Desync this time around. Josh the Pro not showing us the same performance that it was there in the previous Hardpoint match. Now with Raid and Domination, a bit of a different mix-up here coming into it. Of course, Domination bit more like Hardpoint in the sense that you need to like make sure that you look after particular areas on the map.
Yes.
Is this something that perhaps might be able to favor K&D, maybe allow them to get them back into this competition, or are we expecting XF to run away with this?
Well, it depends on how wisely each team can use their numbers. For example, if they're playing together, making sure that they've always got full map coverage over one point and the B point, which is usually preferred. Most teams will prefer to have like A or C and then B instead of A and C and the enemy have B, just because it's easier to hold. So it's definitely going to be dependent on what team can use their numbers to the advantage instead of having one-on-one gunfights, see if they can have bring the numbers in their favor, get their teams together, have 2 people running around having a 2v1 gunfight situation. So putting the numbers on their side, winning those fights, getting on the objectives, and also the roles of the teammates. So we're going to have OBJ players, we're going to be having Slayers, and it just depends on how much they can balance that. When the Slayers are able to play OBJ, when the OBJ players can slay out, when they've got Slayers on the objective playing for them, it just depends on how versatile they can use their numbers.
Well, that being said, it's going to be a battle of Thermopylae for K&D, purely because it feels like XF just have way more numbers when they're running around the map. And you can really see they're great at utilizing that extra space, making sure they have the ability to take the shots first, and that seems to be what's netting them their wins as time goes on. K&D, though, just need to really just focus, I feel like, on one specific spot and hold from that point going forward. And I think they did a fantastic job of, limiting Josh the Pro that particular round. I feel like now that they've warmed up, perhaps shaking out those nerves, we might get to see more signs of life coming out of K&D. That being said, though, Mal, we are going to be jumping now into what could possibly be the final match here in round 1 of XF versus K&D. Can K&D bring this back, or will XF run away with the show?
Okay, we're going to be loading into the game right now. If we're going to have, for K&D, they're going to be having their A side right now, and we're going to be having the C side for XF. So it really just depends on... Alright. Looks like we're going to be having 2 players capturing the objective, while the other 3 both go forward to make progress on map control and the B flag. We're going to have a few gunfights going down with exchanging kills both sides. It looks like right now we're going to have K&D on the flag, making about a quarter progress. we're going to be having a bit of map control from them. And it looks like Josh the Pro going off once again, getting that nice double, which will secure a good area for them. And it looks like XF already capped the B flag. They're using their numbers very wisely right now. We're going to have multiple members from KND in the middle of the map. Right now, we're going to have KND kind of spread out, but we're going to also have a few numbers right next to each other. We're going to have 3 XF members from defending one spot. They've got a very, very good look over the B site right now. We've got Josh the Pro up in Laundry, which overlooks B, and which is a great spot to have to just protect that site. We're going to have a triple cap come in from Team Blue. It's going to be 31-17. We're going to see how long it takes for this team to... Oh, and it looks like KND just about to make progress on the B flag. On C flag, I mean, sorry. However, it is cleaned up by XF. We're going to have multiple members from... We've got 200 killers going out. We're going to have multiple members from KND near the A flag, near kitchen, controlling those pieces of the map. We've taken the lead. Right now, it's just looking very much in XF's favor. We've got some progress on the B flag, however, it is very minuscule. We've got on 1 HP KND member looking to take out Josh the Pro right now in mid, and he does get that exchange. However, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to get that B flag. He's going to be pinched if he does try to take that flag right now, and he is. Right now, looks like KND members are very good splitting up. However, they are going to get picked off together, respectively. We're going to have Neff running around to the B flag, while the rest of his team is nowhere to be seen, except for one he's got. And it looks like he's going to be taken out by an XF member. That's the round. XF definitely dominating right now, 75-36. Personally, I haven't seen much of XF, so it's definitely good to see how well they're performing, especially against a team such as KND. I've definitely seen KND for a while in the competitive scene, and I know their potential, I know what they're able to do. So it's good to see XF performing against this high caliber of a team. Right now, we've got gunfights exchanged everywhere. It looks like KND is going to be able to get a bit of map control. However, with XF having Laundry, it's going to be tougher for them to cap B just because of that dominant map control. Right now, we're going to be seeing not much action on the B site, on the B flag. We've still got XF watching from Laundry, making sure that KND isn't able to take that. And we're going to be having progress on the B flag from XF once they're able to clear out an area. We're going to be having... Okay, right now we've got KND on the B flag right now. They're making a lot of progress. They're about to cap it, and they've got it. So they've also got some solid progress on the A flag. So they could go for a triple cap, but I'm not sure if that's the safest idea right here. I think it's best for them to just hold. Right now we've got Josh the Pro on the B flag, looking to cap it with his teammate on it right now, and they've got it. Simple, done, over, easy. And Josh the Pro is going to go on to take out some enemies. He's going to go on a double kill right now for a potential triple kill. However, he does get taken out by Neff, which is unfortunate for XF, but good for KND. So far, I've definitely noticed Josh the Pro, he's definitely been a dominant player. He's got 14 kills and 9 deaths, which is led up by Discord, who has 12 kills and 10 deaths. Both pretty similar, but Josh the Pro clearly taking the lead in kills. We're going to be having a lot of OBJ play from both teams, respectively around, I would say around 11 seconds for XF on average, and then we're also going to have around 13 seconds for KND. So they've definitely been trying to cap those flags, however they just haven't been able to do it with the power of XF.
No, we're gonna have Dr. Pro here pinched by many players, and he gets taken out. We're gonna have a Predator missile going down, which unfortunately isn't able to take out anyone. We've got K&D on the B flag. However, they do get off to get some map control, chase some fights, make sure that they can get the control a bit easier. All right, it's looking like, yeah, this game's definitely going to be going to XF's advantage. With 140 to 82, there's not much that K&D can do right here unless they pull off some insane triple cap. And yeah, it looks like XF is going to be cleaning off the progress that they made on the B flag. We're going to have an Annihilator going out, and that's the end of the game. Congrats to XF, they're definitely a powerful team.
Wow, XF really showing us what they were capable of there. I mean, even for a second there, my voice was just taken away while I was trying to discuss what was happening there. XF, I really liked their strategies coming into it. I really loved how they used Josh the Pro, and of course running on the sides, depressed even as well at the same time, just to control those flanks, using the vantage points to allow them to really take control of the map. It was something that was probably just really rough for K&D to deal with. And you were mentioning K&D is one of those teams that have been in the competition in the past, have shown some pretty decent performances, but XF giving them for a run for their money, showing that their work is cut out for them if they really do want to place high enough and also contend with Mind Freak and IFM. Is there any final thoughts on that one before we do move to a quick break?
I'm definitely willing to see how the next games play out, but it looks like XF, they're going to be a top team in this league. It's going to be a team definitely to look out for. Keep your eyes on, see how they're doing, see what they do right, see what they do wrong, point out their weaknesses, everything in between.
Definitely a team to watch. Speaking of watching, please do not go anywhere because we will have Mind Freak up against IFM. We'll see you shortly. And we have returned with the Activision Call of Duty Mobile Community Challenge Season 3, presented by AEL. If you're just joining us, we have already played through round 1, where XF put on a dominating show up against KND. That being said, that we are moving now into the second round of today's tournament, and that will be Mindfreak versus IFM, the El Clasico of this competition, where we did see Mindfreak be the champions last year, with IFM being the runners-up. So a little bit of bad blood between these teams, not in the sense of actual bad blood, but the idea of, hey, I want to knock you off your damn pedestal. Joining me today to help break down this action is, of course, Mao, who is our commentator specialist. Mao, how are you going, my friend?
I'm going great. What about you?
Going great, man. Going absolutely fantastic. I'm ready to roll. Now, Mindfreak versus IFM, have the teams really changed that much since last year's competition, or are we beginning to see a few of those members continue to reprise their roles on their team?
Well, there hasn't been too much significant change, like in the team lineups. However, recently, as of I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before,
Yep.
one of Mindfreak's like most valued members, Max, or also known as Elevate, he's recently retired, which is
Oh.
unfortunate to hear. But however, I'm not sure if he's going to be playing this or not, but it's curious to see how Mindfreak performs.
No, I'm definitely gonna be curious to see what what this change does do to their team. When we look at the players, I mean, looking there for IFM, they have Natty, the Fighter, Mad Max Fiend, and Elizabeth. And on Mindfreak side, they're going to be rolling through with Dinka, Toka, Clean, Supreme, and Raycon. Well, I'm looking at these players right now, something that you guys probably don't get the chance to see, but all of them rolling at 150 rank. Of course, the max rank of this competition. I imagine if they could go any higher, they'd be shooting somewhere near the thousands.
Yes.
Well, that being said, though, do these teams continue to roll with that meta as well, or do we see something a little bit special between these players? Do they like to roll different guns that we perhaps, haven't really had a chance to see too much in this competition so far?
I know that we're definitely being seeing more QXRs, we're going to be seeing more Bisons. I feel like in this game, we're going to be seeing some AK-117s. We might be seeing a few shotguns, just maybe. Not too certain about that, but it's definitely a potential.
Fair enough in that sense. I think another thing to take into account, we did see Josh the Pro pop off in that first match against them, and it will be, again, just to give you guys an idea of what we're going to be playing, will be that Hardpoint standoff, or the map will be standoff between Mindfreak and IFM. Now, we've had a little discussion again about most of these maps that are coming into it, standoff being one of those ones, again, that's still close quarters combat. That does mean it's going to be very quick action. Can we expect these guys to be rushing, or to control specific areas of the map in order to gain control and take over the hard point?
Yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of that, like both a mixture of holding and attacking. We're definitely going to be seeing grannies become a hotspot for map control, where teams would want to have advantage of that. Also, we're going to be seeing blue also potentially become one of the hotspots for just map control, overlooking everything, seeing how everything's gone. Also, on the opposite side of blue, there's also market that teams could use to contest the middle of the map, see, and also just have a good idea of what's going on there.
Absolutely. I mean, in my case, I'm so excited. I've shifted into the void slightly, and now I'm back. So, hey, how you going? Everything's looking pretty good there. I mean, these things happen. I'm just buzzing with energy that I am affecting my own camera in the process of this guy. So I apologize if I'm giving you too much energy on that sense of things. But that being said, I mean, there's a lot to be excited about. Again, Mindfreak, the El Clasico, they were the champions. We're expecting a fantastic show, not in the idea of course, that this is against a grudge match between these two teams, but also because they are what is traditionally going to be the best teams of the competition. We're expecting it to be the best match of today. Is this something that you feel like it's going to be neck to neck, or will Mindfreak just blow us away once again?
Personally, in my opinion, I still think Mindfreak will have the advantage, but there's definitely some room for IFM to dominate. I know that the IGL, Natty, he's very good at doing what he does, keeping the team positive, making sure that they got the right mindset, calling the shots, and just planning what's next.
I mean, that's the idea as well with this game. Everything is going to be that idea of chess moves, strategy, planning, what's going to happen next in order to make sure you have things controlled. So not only is it an idea in the gameplay, it's also great rules for life. Now, other things we can take into account today is also the maps that they'll be playing. The next round for the Search and Destroy will be Raid. Raid's something that we saw in the final map, which is going to be as a Domination in the last round. Now, how does Raid play in Search and Destroy? Is it a little bit different in comparison to Domination? Or do these guys like to take control of their flanks, hold those middle rounds? Or perhaps are those objectives just too important to control certain flanks or certain, what's the word I'm looking here for? Choke points, that's the one.
It's what I've definitely noticed while playing Raid S&D. The snipers are very important to make sure that they're getting the picks, watching the areas that they're supposed to be watching, and just taking control, basically.
Well, we are jumping into what would be the first round of the match. These guys are getting ready. Really excited for us to jump into it. Mao, I might actually join you for this one. I know I've been letting you take the reins, so if I'm annoying you, just kick me out, okay? Just get ready for it. We're jumping straight into that match. So let's see how we do for the setup here. As we can see, the players are just getting themselves ready, moving into those positions there. It seems to be roughly a decent split between all the teams at the moment as they make their way into the map.
Yeah, right now it looks like IFM is definitely going to be going straight onto the hardpoint, seeing what they can do with that. They're going to be taking possession of it first straight away. We're going to have Tokka taken out by Mad Max. We're going to have an AS Val, which I definitely didn't expect, but I understand that gun choice. We've got Mind Freak, never mind, Mind Freak on the hardpoint right now, taking control of the map. However, there is going to be a big rush here from IFM, so let's see how they can play out their gunfights, take those numbers, and put it in their advantage.
IFM really trying to take control of the top side of the map, actually try to have that advantage through the top. So as you can see, it does mean though that there needs to be a little bit of a charge from Mind Freak to get in there, clean them off the board. But it seems to be IFM's strategy right now, just to take control back of this particular area here, and then be able to jump in afterwards.
Right now, Mind Freak, and what they have done is they've taken control of the opposite side, so they've gone around IFM so that they can get ready for the next hard point, so that they can easily capture it, so they can get points and win.
Nice, easy transition as well to come to it. All the members still alive for Mind Freak at the moment, whereas IFM are beginning to funnel their way through. As you can see, they're trying to get out here, but it seems to be picked up by Tokka, who's absolutely controlling them.
Yes, right now it looks like Mind Freak, they definitely know what they're doing with the spawns, knowing where they're going to be, as well as taking action and taking them out.
I really love this. You can see every single time IFM look for a charge here, they just seem to have a member from Mind Freak holding that particular entry point. No real chance from the getting. You can see Elizabeth does manage to take out Tokka in that scenario, but at the end of the day, they still got control of that hard point, and they're still trying to make or push their way in.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Right now, it's looking very one-sided to Mind Freak right now, 86-9, and we're going to be seeing the next hardpoint going down while IFM is still trying to contest the current one. They've realized what they've done. They're going to be going to the next one. However, Mind Freak have already set up for the next one, and they're ready for them to come.
Excellent presence of mind coming out of Mind Freak. Happy to completely drop that hard point when they know that the switch was coming in. And it's all about that extra efficiency throughout the platform they're moving to play. IFM looking pretty good at the moment. They do have a decent chunk of members alive, but Mind Freak still continuing to clean them up as they control this hard point very effectively.
Right now we're going to be seeing Clean come out with the Annihilator, which is a very powerful weapon. All you have to do is aim roughly near where they are, and then you get the kill. It's very good for map control, taking out easy enemies, but if you miss, you just gotta slide and hope for the best.
Seems to be an absolute clinic being put out by Clean here at the moment. Call this man sanitization, because he is absolutely wiping this map clean of IFM. Finally, he is taken down, though. These guys have had enough, but 116 to 16 at the moment, or 120 to 16. Mind Freak once again showing us why these guys are the favorites of competition.
Yes, right now they're looking very good with the KDs. We've got from Riker 12 and 8 deaths. From Dinka we've got 18 kills and 6 deaths. Looking very promising for the next rounds. We're going to have a break on to the next hardpoint gets taken out.
Tigers
And we're
50
gonna-
IFM, though, are actually on the point here first. So this is the first time they've been here, you know, a little bit above, in front of the 8 ball, but Mindfreak closing in quickly.
Yes, looks like they've switched up their ideas to get the hard point before Mindfreak can get there. So it's looking like they're able to adapt.
It's pretty incredible how they have the ability to actually get there first and set up. You can see that a lot of the kill streaks that were available from Mindfreak are coming down, but aren't really able to take control. But finally, what feels like a little bit of an eternity for Mindfreak, who've been absolutely dominating this map, finally get control of it and might be able to close out this particular match.
Yes, we've got a red dot on a Bison, which is not what I was expecting, but I respect their decision because they're definitely better at the game than me.
You can see here Mindfreak now closing in 148 to 29. IFM's
And
trying to hold on by the skin of their teeth, but it is not going to be enough. And Mindfreak once again showing us why they are the dominant competitors in this competition. I mean, that was pretty incredible. You said perhaps before losing that member might affect them, but probably not. Probably not is definitely the answer coming into this one. So pretty excited to see how that one comes in. Look, clean once again. We said we was putting on a clinic beforehand. 2-7-6-0 the score. Definitely the MVP for the team. But look at how close Riker and Dinka are. I mean, these guys are also putting up some pretty high numbers as well. Something that we probably didn't really take into account coming into this is how good these players really are in terms of how close it is. Even if you are the MVP, it's just by an inch.
Yes, it looks like Clean is going to be the MVP for Mindfreak with 21 kills. That's solid.
Oof. I mean, that's more than solid. That is, again, an absolute click. I mean, Dinka managed to get 22 as well. So really that idea of utility coming into play, something being really taken into account. I'm really excited to see how this does go into the next round. Of course, the next round is going to be a search and destroy in raid. We'll have a little bit of a brief touch on that particular map and how it actually plays a little bit differently because we did see it in Domination beforehand. The idea that, you know, instead of it being this run around for the particular run around for flanks to hold vantage points in order to get those points, instead it's actually going to be a bigger push towards those strokes to make sure that you can get control of the point to put down those bombs. Now, I'm really looking at everything that's happening here. Does Mindfreak continue to dominate going forward, or can we see IFM actually take a round off of Mindfreak going into this raid map really?
Now, I definitely think that Mindfreak is going to continue their dominance against IFM. However, if IFM is able to play it smart enough, they might be able to sneak some rounds into the score, which could eventually become a close game.
Well, that's something we really need to look at as well. It is a best of 5. And if you do manage to take away some of those rounds where it's like, yeah, it's nice, I managed to put a scratch onto a god, when really is, you know, what we're looking at Mindfreak is they're the ones to beat here. You don't actually get the point. That's the real, you know, rough scenario in this case. The fact that you don't get the point is the harder point. Now,
Yeah.
that being said, you do obviously want to go for those quick wins as well, because as time goes on, even if you are the better player, sometimes endurance does tend to play a point. If IFM have the ability to take this to a 4th, a 5th round, is that something that could possibly affect Mindfreak? Because they're typically used to probably having quick matches, finishing up quickly, you know, moving on to their coffee. The team never is going to be the case there around. Is that something that could possibly work in the favor of IFM? How do they take away that match?
Well, if Mindfreak gets too overconfident, then they could definitely be dropping some maps, which they don't want to be dropping. Right now, I'm assuming they want to go for the clean sweep, 3-0, done and dusted. That's it for the rest of the day. Chill back, do whatever you want.
Well, we are jumping right back into the action. This is going to be the second map, Raid, Search and Destroy, Mindfreak versus IFM. Mindfreak currently up 1 in this best of 5, so IFM needs to pull out something special to take control. And both these teams just establishing control at the moment, don't want to give away to any of their kills just yet, and it looks like it might be a bit of an extended Search and Destroy.
Right now, we're going to see a lot of IFM in gallery and behind that. We're going to be seeing some exchanges coming down to a 2v2 situation. We're going to be having IFM players both right next to each other and Mindfreak members
sort of separated, but they can still get close to each other if they need to. Right now, we're going to be looking.
IFM sticking together, using that buddy system to get around.
We're going to have
bomb
a
has been planted just
rotation
yet.
onto the A site. It looks like Mindfreak have moved around a bit. They know, okay, they're not here at B anymore. They've probably gone around. And it looks like we've got a pick, and they spot each other. Supreme with the nice pick onto Natty. Now it's just a 2v1 situation. And Finn, unfortunately, he gets one pick, but he can't take out the other one, unfortunately.
Still, I mean, overall, very close round coming out here. Seeing the signs of life from IFM that we want to take into account. But of course, the game sense from Mindfreak really seems to be on point. The understanding that, hey, these guys are beginning to make the move around. Let's cut them off in the meantime. Smokes are going out at the moment to control these vantage points and stop
Right now,
the aggression from IFM.
Right now, it looks like IFM is going to be going for a solid A rush with all 5 members right on the side. We're going to be having all of the Mindfreak members flipping sides, basically. They're all in mid, near gallery, everything like that. We've got a contest at kitchen with Dinka taking the kill. And bomb has been planted.
Yep, bomb is down at the moment in time. Looking to see how they go into a lot of IFM now, just controlling those vantage points, making sure that no one can really get in. And it is up to Mindfreak to be the aggressors. They make it around. They are doing it from a pits position. They're making their moves in now. They're trying to take everyone out. They do manage to check out one of the members of IFM, but now they're being shredded.
Supreme looking for any members of the IFM team. He's unable to spot him. However, Clean can get the triple kill to clutch up the round.
Wow, you can really see. I mean, they were taking down quite a bit. IFM at that moment in time were 3-2, but 2 of those members from Mindfreak able to come in and clean up directly afterwards after they were pushed out of the defending position, trying to look after that bomb. Some very quick wins coming out here from Mindfreak, still in this scenario. 2 up in this search and destroy round.
Yes. Right now, it looks like we're going to be having what IFM planned during the first round, more in gallery to garage. We've got one going around with the bomb over around Sniper's Nest, or the bedroom, as some people call it.
It's a bit of a risk there with putting the bomb by itself. So when it is taken out, does mean that, you know, you can just protect that bomb site there. But as we can see, very well played there from Natty to actually stay alive and continue to move things around.
IFM getting some good picks. However, Mindfreak do come out with some extra picks to bring it down to a 2v2 situation when it was a 2v4, when I'm pretty sure. We've got Natty sneaking around through the mid. He knows where the enemies are, so he's going to be able to safely and securely go to a site without getting his location exposed from mid.
Definitely doing the best impersonation of G.I. Joe, just crouching through there as well, or crawling across. Make to see what it can do, but it does seem now it's going to be up to Natty to clutch this if possible. Hasn't found the members yet.
He's got the flank around. He does take
kill.
out one, and he's unfortunately not able to take out the second player.
Yeah, the 2v1 just too much for Natty to overcome. And sooner as that position was given away, when it was able to take out one of the members of Mindfreak, you did see immediately Dinka jump in action to show them why Dinky is player 1 in this case, and is going to be the sole surviving member of Mindfreak remaining. Once again, taking it up to 3-0 in this map 2.
Right now, for the MVPs of each team, we're going to be having Clean with 6 kills on the board right now, and we're going to be having Natty from IFM with 5 kills. So right now, they're probably the most important plays that you can have right now, and it looks like right now they're going to be mostly dead. We're going to have Supreme with the sniper in middle. He sees the enemy, however the enemy has gone away from that position. We do have a flank around, and it looks like IFM is going to be taking the first round.
And here we go, finally, we managed to put a bit of a scratch onto Mindfreak in this scenario. That's exactly what they need to do. I mean, this is still far from over in this round. Search and Destroy can definitely be extended if you begin to turn things around. Momentum, I feel, is very important in these matches. Now, this is actually going to be a nice, big, I guess you could say, confidence boost for IFM to get in there. And once again, they're making their moves around the map. No big rushes this time around. Both of them spreading out relatively well, but they do control a nice split of that map. And I feel like they're beginning to roach a little bit into Mindfreak's areas.
Right, it looks like Riker does go to push, however, he does get shot in the back by an IFM member in the corner. Looks like we're gonna have a pick for each team to bring it down to a 4v4. We're gonna have some more gunfights to bring it down to a 3v4 IFM's way. And then Dinka gets one more kill onto IFM, which is now a 3v3 situation. He's gonna get another kill to put the numbers on his team's side. And it looks like we're gonna have to see Elizabeth clutch out a 3v1, see if they can do it. Unfortunately, no, they died to Dinka.
And Dinka managed to take out at least 4 members there. So Dinka
Yes.
really showing us why he's one of the players that you need to look out for in Mind Freak, and putting on a bit of a clinic going forward again. We are going to be swapping sides now, which does mean that IFM will be the defender, and it's going to be up to Mind Freak to push in and take more initiative in these particular
We
matches.
see IFM Natty going straight down the middle as soon as the round starts, and it's going to be easily picked off by the Mind Freak members. It's going to be down to a 2v2 situation with the Mind Freak members being right next to each other. However, the IFMers are very split up. Let's see how they can play this out.
Bomb has been dropped as well, so they can look to just control that for the time being and stop what is going to be any real encroachment from Mind Freak coming across. I don't know if they understand where it is
on the site.
Yep.
He knows that it's definitely not his fight for that range, so he rotates around. Unfortunately, he does die, but at least he was able to notice, hey, I shouldn't take this fight.
And one of the things I do tend to find is that on particular maps, there is a bit of a favor or an advantage to being the attacker or the defender coming into it.
Yeah.
Mind Freak was pretty dominant before as a defenders. Already they've lost or dropped around as the attackers. This might be a defender's favored map. And off the bat, though, Mind Freak already pushing me, already proving me wrong. Caster Curse coming right out for IFM.
Right now we're in a 1v4 situation for Fiend. We'll have to see what he can do here. We've got all of the Mind Freak members buddied up right next to each other. We've got one outlier. Dinka, he is able to pick him up and doesn't give him any chance.
Whenever you're in one of those scenarios when you need to do a 1-4, 1-3 clutch, things get a little bit crazy. You start putting on that idea of, hey, am I going to be able to do my my best anime protagonist scenario here? But that will be the case here. It seems to be a rush from Mind Freak towards B. IFM, though, have read it and are in position.
They're all right next to each other. IFM Natty, unfortunately, caught in all the crossfire, squished by all 4 of them right in the middle and gets taken out. It's down to a 3v3 situation. Let's see how both teams play out. It looks like... Oh, it's a 2v3 situation now, sorry. We're going to be going for the bomb plant from Mind Freak. We're going to be having IFM players near Laundry looking to get an easy pick to bring it down to put the numbers even more in their advantage. We're going to have My Darling, Axel, getting a pick to bring it down, get the numbers a bit more even. We have Clean knowing where the enemy is. We're also going to be having Mad Max and Axel respectively right next to each other. However, he is going to be taking gun shot fight with Fighter, and it looks like IFM is able to clutch up the round.
Yeah, really good presence. I had liked what Mind Freak were trying to do as soon as they managed to get that bomb planted down. They were trying to see if they could split out, divide, and conquer. It looked like it was going to work, but the members from IFM were able to clinch that one out. And again, seems to be a bit of a defender's advantage coming on through in this map and round, even though Mind Freak were able to decimate previously.
Yes, that's for sure. Right now, we only need to see one more round win from Mind Freaks before they take the win. So it's interesting to think what could be going through IFM's mind right now. They're probably thinking, I can't die here, or that might cost us the game. I can't do anything stupid, or that costs us the game. Right now, it's down to a 3v3 situation. All members right now are important. You do not want to die. You don't want to do anything silly. You don't want to... Yeah.
Search and Destroy really that game mode that seems to put a bit of an emphasis on survival. We get the bomb being planted at this moment in time. Mind Freak now at an advantage. Also, as you mentioned before, in match point for this particular round. Having a quick look at the fighter here. He's trying to get a decent vantage point to see if he can actually get a flank on one of these members. Isn't able to find anything just yet, but might be walking into it. What might be a bit of an issue. He might be able to see this. Here they go. They engage.
I know he has to clutch right now. 1v3 situation. Unfortunately, he can't, which brings the map to Mind Freak 6-3.
And Mind Freak again managed to take that search and destroy round off of IFM. Now we are going to be moving to that third map, which is going to be Takeoff in Domination here around. Clean once again going to be that MVP with that 12-20 score. Again, being one of the leading members here for Mindfreak. It's definitely pretty good. Dinko as well had some pretty show-up performances in scenarios. They mentioned take out at least 5 members in one of those rounds. So all the way through, really good across. You can see 10 kills for Darling, for Dinka, and for Clean. So a number of these guys really pulling a lot of the weight for the rest of the members. Rayka and Supreme doing super well in support, but on the flip side of things, Fiend, the fighter, Natty, still doing pretty good as well. I mean, I'm looking at it, 9 kills, 7 kills, 8 kills. These guys are scratching the surface of Mindfreak, and if they do manage to just edge out a little bit more performance, could definitely match them.
Yes, definitely. I would say that they definitely did a better performance in the search and destroy rather than the hardpoint. And if you look at the modes, hardpoint is typically a quite crazy mode, you would say, with a lot of
It's chaos.
spawn. Yes, a lot of spawn trapping, a lot of gunfights everywhere, just contested hardpoints, guns going, just bullet spraying everywhere.
It's got a blender of bullets. You're like, what's going there? It's coming from everywhere. What am
Yeah.
I supposed to do in
And
this
then on the
scenario?
flip side, there's Search and Destroy, which is a much more slower game mode. At the start of, you get 1 life and and you spend it however you do. So maybe IFM's advantage is playing those mind games, thinking out what moves they should do, what cards to play, when to do it, when to strike. However, Mindfreak have shown that although although IFM are definitely performing better in the search and destroys, they're still able to win those rounds 6-3.
Well, it's that idea of performance, right? We really are giving some praise to IFM in terms of the way they're able to play, calm, collective. Definitely, again, give competition for Mindfreak, but when you look at it, that performance coming across the board and looking at all their players just seems to be that little bit better, and that's reflective in the score. 6-3 in that Search and Destroy, as we're now moving into what's going to be that next round, which will be a bit more like Hardpoint. It's going to be a bit more crazy. It is, of course, going to be Domination, where you're trying to take multiple areas under control at the same time. Now, that, again, is going to be a little bit different. Of course, we've got the quick movements coming from Mindfreak, too much for IFM to really handle, and their ability to use that presence of mind to understand where they need to be on the map. You could tell that IFM were able to then start to take a little bit more of competition off of Mindfreak on that last time, or that last hard point. Domination a bit different in that idea. You're trying to control multiple points at once. So that means you will be leaving one person in defense, moving the rest around. It means mobility, because quick actions. Could we possibly see some changes in the guns or weapons? Or will these guys still, operate perhaps maybe using those QXRs, which have been so popular in this tournament at the moment?
I feel like right now, not the best idea to be testing out new guns. Like, you might know that a gun's pretty good and you might want to test it out. But right now, in IFM's situation, I don't think that would be the best idea to test it out right there. I feel like what they should be doing is they should stick with what they trust and improving with that. The next map will be Takeoff, which I assume most players on both teams won't have much experience with. So let's see how they adapt to this new map.
Well, I mean, look, things are definitely going to be taking off here, whether it's going to be IFM staging that comeback or Mindfreak running away with this particular round. Now, Takeoff is something have you had much experience with Takeoff? Is it just that new of a map in this particular pool?
Personally, I don't have much experience with it, but what I've seen after playing a bit of competitive, I've noticed it's not really a hot pick for a competitive match. When you've got Summit, you've got Standoff, you've got Firing Range, you've got Raid. I've also seen some from other regions. There's been some Hackney Yard, there's been some Crash, there's been some Crossfire, but there's what do you call it? There's Takeoff, which isn't really played that often.
Well, everyone, please thank you for your patience at this moment in time. Soon we'll surely be taking off in what will be the final map of this round 2 between Mindfreak and AFM. Just one of the players is, hasn't really had the best chance to test out the map while they're finishing the downloads on it. That's one of the great things about it. You get to see what's happening here. So hopefully we can get everything up and running very quickly. Actually, one of the players here in this scenario, but I think the players probably have tested it out the whole way through. So please forgive me with that being said, but soon we'll be jumping into it. I'm looking at this now. IFM really do need to pull something out of their back pocket. An ace, a trump card, something in particular. Someone they need to control. Clean has been really just going too crazy against them in most cases. How do they really control this Mindfreak outfit? What seems to be the play? Is it just moving a little bit quicker through those particular areas? Perhaps, looking to slay first before jumping into the objective control. What seems to be something that could possibly help them out from not a micro level in terms of the game mechanics and how well they can shoot, how well they can move in that sense, but from a macro perspective, can they edge out an advantage that way?
Well, with the little experience I would assume the players would have with these maps, I would say personally, the best idea is to just figure out what's the best spot to hold. Where are they going to go? What's their ideas? So try to figure out what's going on inside their head. And yeah.
Yeah, the idea of some mind games coming into play, but we are going to be jumping into what might be the final map between Mindfreak versus IFM, currently 2-0 up, and these teams moving very quickly to what's going to be that first point.
Yes, right now looks like they're going to be taking control off the top. There's going to be a lot of exchanges right here. Dinka getting both 2 kills right off the start of the game. He sees more, and he's going to get a nice double onto Mad Max, and then he sees another. Unfortunately, he is going to have to leave him one shot before reloading, and then he chases that fight and gets him for 5 kills already. We're going to have
just being an absolute hunter.
Yes, we've already got halfway progress for Mindfreak on the B flag, so we might be seeing them picking that up really early into the game.
We are moving around here as well. Following Supreme at the moment. It's going to be taking some shots at Natty, but will be taken down. Now we're moving across there. A lot of players now dropping as the craziness, the chaos is ensuing. They're trying to get control of B at the moment. We're following. It seems to be Dinka once again, who's just managed to kill 3 players back to back and is starting to set up a bit of an advantage for Mindfreak.
Right now he's on 9 kills without any death, so it's interesting. Oh, never mind. Okay, he's just died. Commentator's curse, I call it.
It happens from time to time, but we have swapped now to Natty. Natty's beginning to make a move around, but will be found by Reika, who's just going to immediately take him out of the picture as well. A lot of craziness happening at the moment. But again, Mindfreak still beginning to pull away, 28-18. I'm from chipping at the heels of them for the time being as they're trying to still maintain some control of this competition. We do have a Predator missile coming out there. It's going to be very quickly put into place there, but isn't going to have the best effect. As we do look around, I'm still following Dinka at this moment in time. He's doing pretty well. Has managed to kill 3 members. What is Dinka doing at the moment? He's donking on IFM, throwing out a nade of some smoke on the side there just to get some extra control of this point.
He's destroying right now. He's on like another 6 kill feed or kill streak. He's already got his cluster strike for next time IFM tries to take over that B flag. If they're able to capture it right here, which they do. He has another Pred missile. He has his Annihilator already. Less than just over 2 minutes into the match. He's performing very well. He's definitely one of Mindfreak's most valued players right now.
Yeah, 16-2 was the last time I got to see his KDA. So, again, Dinka really showing us what he can do. He comes up against Maddie there, but Natty will be quicker on the play. Tried to crouch down to make something work, but it wasn't going to be the case. So, it seems his domination is over for the time being. Watching Elizabeth now, who's beginning to make that way towards A, but isn't going to find too much of that. Still 43-59, much more competitive in terms of watching these maps go through. So, IFM, I've shaken off what seems to be those early game, I guess, shakes, nervousness a little bit. Still behind 20 points, but still not insurmountable at this moment.
Yes, they've got progress on the B flag, but the question is, are they going to be able to capitalize on that? Are they going to be able to capture it? Right now,
I know that's picked up.
Right now, looking at the scoreboard, we've just had our 2nd player hit double digits, and while we've got 1 player on double digits, while Reika is on 20 kills. He's popping off.
Popping off, and other ways in the sense. Again, donking on
Yes.
everyone. He may be the dinker, but he's also the donker. We have swapped sides here now, so IFM need to, again, pull something special up in this scenario to bring things back. Now we can see Mad Max being followed here at the moment by the fighter, but he's trying to get some control there. Is beginning to put a whole bunch of bullets into Natty, but he's not going to be able to take them out. And as you can see here, it really does seem to be what I expect to be a bit of control now, a bit of contention for this middle side of the map, as we do have some fire strikes coming down just to hold everything in place.
Yes, we're definitely going to be seeing Mindfreak going for the flag, C flag, to potentially flip the spawns. I'm not too certain what's going through the mind right now, what their objective is,
Oof.
but it looks like the nice double gravity spike from the fight. He is going to contest Dinka. Unfortunately, he does take him out with his Annihilator, which is one of the best operators in the game right now. He's going to be going around to the B flag, which IFM has capped. They've also got some progress on the A flag. So even though IFM might only have one flag, they do have progress on the A flag, and they do have spawns at the C flag. So that could turn out well, or it might turn out good for them, or it might turn out bad for them. It just depends on how they play it. Right now, they have capped the A flag with some progress on the C flag. It looks like they could be going for a triple cap, or they could just be holding both flags and just winning by getting more points.
You can see now as well. They're continuing to try and get some progress and hold things from that time being as well. I mean, Dinka again still being so good on the gross fighter, getting completely mixed. Raker's now trying to put on a bit of a clinic himself. Has managed to take out 2 members there. Wow, coming across it with the assist afterwards.
He's looking for more. Unfortunately, he does get taken out by the fighter. And it looks like Dinka is going to be using another cluster strike right near all the IFM members to make sure they can't get progress on that B flag.
I'm loving the use of these cluster strikes at the moment. They're not being used on location. They're being put in places where the members might try to take control so they can get in there and actually start capping the points. It's just really stopping IFM from really getting themselves back into this match. Now, 122 to 84. And with Mindfreak really controlling and encroaching now on the territory of IFM and their spawns.
Yes. Right now, Mindfreak is looking like they're going to be taking this map as well. 132-88 with the B flag. We're going to have to see IFM pull something crazy that they haven't done before with a triple cap. They're getting the C flag, looking promising. But however, we are going to see Mindfreak taking the A flag from them as they flip the spawns.
They're just running into that spawn, just mowing them down or trying to slow them down and don't get taken out there. Nice little slide there is not going to be able to save them. Tokka now is the person that we are following. He's making his jumps around, still using that Bison, and is able to hold this area. You can see he's just trying to hold those 2 entry points of B on the side there. Gets in, but will be taken out by Mad Max.
Yeah, it looks like time's running out for IFM, and Mindfreak are going to be taking this map, and that's going to be bringing them to another win, 3-0 versus IFM, a clean sweep.
So really, XF and Mindfreak taking both rounds today with clean sweeps against their opponents. So really showing us again who is going to be the dominant members of the competition, who are the guys that we need to watch. Mindfreak were able to put on a clinic against what is considered to be the 2nd best team. So giving us a little bit of a benchmark of what we can expect in the competition, the performances that you need to put out in order to start taking control. It's still relatively early. I mean, it's going to be 4 weeks worth of round robins between everyone, so we might get to see some things be a little bit different. But Dinka, once again, 3-8-40 is going to be an absolute monster in this particular round, and we can see it early in at 1.161 was the KDA. That is filthy, okay? I don't care how good that is. Even Clean's going, damn, I'm feeling a little bit dirty off the back of this, trying to brush the dirt that Dinka has been flinging around as he's just been putting on absolute monstrous KDAs in that. 33 kills, the next closest is 22. That was impressive.
Yes. I reckon Dinka, he was able to adapt to the lack of knowledge from map, or maybe he might have had knowledge of the map, but he was not. Also, did he show us how he could put his game sense to use? He also showed us how he could put his gun skill to use, getting a lot of 30, a lot of double kills, triple kills, and just everything in between. He just shows that he's a dominant player and he's one to look out for.
He was even pushing past that. Well, that being said, that we are now past what is going to be Mind Freak versus IFM, which means we're moving to a quick break. Please do not go anywhere because we still have XF up against Disrespect for our third and final round of today. Welcome back to the Activision COD Mobile Community Challenge Season 3 presented by AEL. Now, guys, we are in the last but not least round of XF versus Disrespect. Now, we did get to see XF do a bit of a showcase against K&D in the first round today, and XF put on a pretty good performance. I was really impressed with their movement around the map, and they really did show to K&D, who have been in the tournament in the past and have shown some pretty good performances, that these guys are real contenders. Now, Disrespect, we haven't had a chance to see these guys play so far into the tournament, but is there a chance that we're going to see them, show off a little bit against XF? Mao, have you had a chance to really get a bit of a sticky beak into this Disrespect team?
I've definitely seen a lot of the faces from Disrespect, and I know what they're capable of. I know what they can do. I know how they like to play, and I'm curious to see if they can do that right here against XF.
Right here and right now. Let's have a quick look at that map pool. So first off, in Hardpoint, it's going to be Raid, followed by Takeoff, Search and Destroy, and then Firing Range and Domination. Now, there's still another Hardpoint and Search and Destroy afterwards, but in these matches so far today, it has been, clean sweeps, and we haven't had a chance to really see that fourth and fifth map come into play. But without anything else being said, we are jumping straight into the action, which of course is going to be Hardpoint Raid coming into it.
Alrighty. We're just waiting for the last few players to get in the map, and we're ready.
It's going to be good. So with this one here, now we haven't really seen the Hardpoint Raid. We've seen Search and Destroy Raid. We've seen Domination Raid. Obviously, there is one specific point in the map that needs to be taken in under control here. Do you just rush straight to the middle? It seems to be the strategy coming forward, and we can see that first Hardpoint is spawning towards the top side of the map, and it might actually be XF with a little bit of an edge getting there first.
Right now, we're going to be seeing both teams going straight for the hardpoint contesting. We're going to see Rachel get a kill, then get killed. We're going to see Josh the Pro on the hardpoint, who has shown himself worthy of a top tier place in this tournament. And let's see how we can do right here. We've got both teams right next to the hardpoint. However, XF is going to be getting points from the hardpoint. It looks like
it is pretty bloody, though. You can see at the moment everyone is trying to rush in, and it is a domino effect. One player after the other comes through. Bisons and QXRs blazing kill after kill, and it seems to be a pretty good competition, but XF are coming out on top every single time, 21-6.
Yep, Desire. He's looking for a rotation. Next hardpoint is going to be going up soon. Josh the Pro gets a nice Hunter Killer double, which is rare to see because personally my Hunter Killers don't really do much at all. They just go into the front and die. And as the next hardpoint comes up, we're going to be seeing XF right next to it. But it looks like Disrespect is going to have a chance to break potentially.
Well, they're coming in. They do seem to have a bit of a pincer coming on this next hard point here as they're jumping on top, and it seems to be effective. Has given them control temporarily, but of course XF aren't giving it up without a fight. And as we can see now, Depressed manages to clean up what seems to be the rest of the members on a Desire, trying to jump on top, but will be cut off very quickly by Depressed, who's holding a really good spot on this vantage point. We'll throw out a Hunter drone for good measure as well. And now just pretty simple stuff. They're Disrespect regrouping to make their way in.
Looks like we're still going to be seeing map hardpoint control from XF. However, they've only got one player on the hardpoint, and he's able to take out the member that from Disrespect that is contesting them. Typo, he is going for a... Alright, they get killed.
Well, it doesn't really matter at this point in time. It doesn't matter if you've got one member on there. As long as you have one member, you're still going to be continuing to build up those points, 62-21. But as we know, 1 second left, there will be a move in the hard point, and Disrespect make a hard line directly for it to get some control early.
Yes, right now, what I saw before, Disrespect said, okay, we're not going to be able to get this hard point. It's best off if we just go to the next one, get control of that. And that's what they have done. However, XF is able to do a strong retake of this hard point and is able to capture it for the time being.
You can see right now a lot of grenades, a lot of artillery being used down as well, with a number of kill streaks just coming into play here. Look at that shot coming on through from Discount there. Manages to completely mow down this Disrespect team. I think that was disrespectful, and now he's able to prop down a turret at the same time to continue to hold this point.
Yes, right now it looks like Discount is going to be racking up the score sheets. He's just put down his sentry gun. He's got a hunter killer and he's got a predator missile, which he can use at any time to help his team retake the hard point. We have one disrespect member onto the hard point, however they do get killed. What I would expect to be seeing right now is I would expect to be seeing a few rotations from both teams to get to the next hard point at basketball court. We're going to be seeing a lot of XF right near that. We're going to see disrespect with the spawns at the top. If we're looking at the map right now, we're going to be seeing a contested hardpoint right now, and we're going to be seeing multiple team members from both sides coming through the hardpoint and contesting it. We do see a nice predator missile right now from Resinks, which is going to help his team massively. And they're able
Just
to
look at that
to the hard
completely
point.
concerted effort coming out of XF. A number of kill streaks used to retake control there. They want to make sure Disrespect are completely out of this game, and their members have been mowed down. Respawn's coming into it, but they are beginning to filter in at this point in time. The Annihilator kill also coming across here. Now that we are looking at Resinks, who seems to be making sure that that top side of the entry point of the hardpoint is completely cleaned out. We are now on Manda, who's holding this door down. A lot of members seem to be filtering through from Disrespect at this moment, and he's continuing to hold strong for the time being. And as we can see here, Disrespect now needs to regroup, move themselves back into it. They should be able to take out what seems to be Typo there and now make their move around, but XF holding strong.
Right now, Disrespect, they're going to be prepared for the next hard point, even though we do have a hunter killer coming down from XF, and which is going to take a kill, and we've got another one coming out. Unfortunately, couldn't pick up a kill. We have Disrespect holding the hard point well here. However, they don't have one person on the actual objective. They've just got them all around. Jade is able to destroy the sentry gun from behind, and unfortunately, unfortunately for Disrespect, it looks like XF is going to be able to do another successful retake onto the hard point and take out the win.
Yeah, Disrespect there towards the end. We're trying to throw out everything, including the kitchen sink, to try and take that back from XF and possibly hold on to at least what was going to be this first round. But XF putting on a pretty good show for us there. Really good rotations across the board. And even when they were a little bit behind that 8-ball, when Disrespect was actually able to do that rotation quicker, partly because, again, they didn't control the point, and it meant that they were able to use that resource to get what seems to be a little bit of a entrenched point for themselves to defend against. Still was not enough. And Josh the Pro, once again, showing us that really is going to be the MVP for this particular round. Resinks, though, and Discount very close and chipping at the heels. And look at those high kill counts on the whole team for XF, really allowing them to maintain control of it, because if they do have, of course, those extra numbers at all points in time, doesn't mean that they will be able to hold that map effectively. XF really showing us again why they are very good contenders coming to us. I'd love to see how XF would measure up against Mindfreak. I think my camera is not measuring up too well for the time being, but that's completely fine, guys. We'll worry about that a bit later. Now, XF, of course, will want to take this out in nice and quick fashion, 3-0 to beat the play. The next map is going to be Takeoff. It's going to be a search and destroy, and we have seen the teams that have been struggling in those initial starting points do perform pretty well in the search and destroy, because it allows them to slow things down, take a bit more of a calm and calculative approach, because of course being alive means so much more in those.
Yes, that is true. And just as you said, I am curious to see how XF is able to pair up against the big dogs like IFM and Mindfreak, see how they can perform, especially with Josh the Pro. He's shown himself in the games that he's played and the games that we've shown that he is a solid player. He knows what he's doing. He's got his PP19 Bison and he's ready to use it.
Another thing that I love about these community challenges is, of course, if you are a relatively unknown player or part of a relatively unknown team, you can really show and strike your stuff for the other teams out there to possibly make those moves in the future. And it just is a fantastic point for these players to meet, discuss strategies, discuss ways to really improve as not just a player, but as a team. So this is really good practice going forward. Of course, there is that massive tournament that this leads up to as well. Now, with this here, with the next round is of course going to be that Takeoff, or not Takeoff, sorry, is going to be, no, Sorry, too many games today, just trying to refresh everything that comes across. Is going to be that Search and Destroy Takeoff. Now, we have seen Takeoff in Domination, which of course is going to be that airport. Bit different now, obviously, in that Search and Destroy. Now, is there a particular area in the map that you like to rush? You can see there are relatively close bomb spots between A and B in this map.
Yes, personally, I would prefer either going down either lane, like to the very edge, like as you'd see to the right now in that launch center building right now. I would like to go up those stairs. That's usually a good position to be holding, especially when you're looking to protect mid for yourself.
Well, moving into what's going to be the second map of round 3 between XF versus Disrespect. Can XF continue their winning trend, or will they be able to actually take down, or will Disrespect be able to turn things around in what is going to be a bit more of a slower round?
We'll see. Right now we've got Racings. He's looking to infiltrate their flanks. He's able to find one, gets one from behind. He pre-aims
Really
the
solid
corner,
events.
runs right into the bullets. Very well played by Racings. We're now
See what's going to happen now. We are going to be following. Seems to be Rachel at this moment in time. Does have a quick shot there. She's trying to clinch it out for the team, but Racings, who was performing very well, managed to get a number of kills, is able to turn the corner, see who's going to be their opponent, and completely remove them from the map. Going to be that first round going to XF in the Search and Destroy. XF continuing to be the defender. Let's look to see how this plays out. Bit of a slow move out here now from Disrespect. And very quick movements from XF, and Smokes going out to control the points and make things hard for Disrespect to get in.
Okay, on the map in the bottom left, we're going to see a lot of plays around everywhere. Disrespect already been able to take it down to a 3v5 situation in their favor. We're going to be seeing a 2v3 situation now as both team collect some picks from the enemy side. We're going to see a melee kill from Discount onto Jade. The bomb has been planted. 2v1 situation. They have turned it around very well. He's about to ninja defuse. He's just ninja defused. He's got
Gotta love it when it comes through. You're just sitting there. I mean, Typo was running around, probably worried about the fact that he's going to have to deal with at least 2 members from XF. And unfortunately for that, the presence of mind wasn't there, and that Ninja Defuse does manage to come through as well. So again, another round for XF here, who are off to a quick start and dominating performance against them.
Yes, and
Wow,
XF was able to play that
very
round
quick.
very well. XF was able to play that round very well. They were down 3-5 in numbers. However, at that point they realized, okay, I need to preserve my life. I just need to get kills and be able to just slow down the game while I can play at my own pace. And right now we're in another 2v1 situation for XF. Enemy spotted, unfortunately can't get the kill onto Mando.
Yeah, Mando does manage to finish things off there. Typo did have a very nice shot there just to jump in before, but was quickly removed by a pistol. And it really is coming down to that idea of these early games and matches. XF doing a fantastic job in his opening rounds when they do throw out their grenades and smokes, a number of things as well, just really utilizing all forms of utility possible, as we can see here. Disrespect trying to make their move along this top side of the lobby to try and get in as well and have some control of vantage point. But not really having any success. Once again, going to be losing Typo.
Looks like we're going to be having XF starting off strong in this round with another pick from the press onto Desire. Personally, I believe that Desire will end up eventually being one of Disrespect's most valuable players, knowing that he was the MVP in the first round, and also knowing his competitive history with other teams.
1v1 situation now. It's going to be Jade up against Discount. Will this be the first time that Disrespect's able to take a kill on the back of it? Has managed to get that bomb as well. He's trying to get that shot there, but he's going to miss on the side there. So he's going to be unfortunate in that scenario. We are going to be moving to see what's going to be the next play on that.
He's able to pick up a gun.
Here we go.
Peeks around and gets the kill. Very well played.
Really love everything coming out there. Didn't have the ideal gun in that situation. Looked for a different resource off the back of it and was able to make the play around. Discount showing us why XF is performing so well just with these individual plays.
This will be the last round on before we switch sides to so where Disrespect will be defending now.
Oh,
And looks like we're able to get nice. Unfortunately, whiffs the shot, unable to secure the kill.
Fantastic positioning, but not able to execute in that scenario. Still going to be 2-3 now for the time being. The first time the Disrespect really has been up, I think, except perhaps the second round so far. We can see, though, we have seen XF clutch out in these scenarios time and time again against Disrespect. So it's not too bad. We do have the bomb being planted at this point, which means XF have to move in to stop this from going down. As we can see here now, Depress is trying to find at least someone to pick off in the back here, but is going to be very rough for him. On the flip side of things, though, Discount is making a move on the side here as well, trying to find something as well. But it seems that he's going to be now 1 versus 3. Let's see if he can make something happen. I don't think he will.
Oh, he nearly gets the melee kill, but unfortunately was not able to, which brings Disrespect to their first map.
That's something that they definitely need. They need to like bring some form of momentum back. Now we are going to be flipping things around here. Now we've discussed that idea of perhaps in some search and destroy maps, there seems to be either an attacker or defender's advantage. It seems this case this may be an attacker's advantage or a defender's advantage. So now that things have flopped around or swept around, perhaps Disrespect will be able to bring something back here and have more success as defenders.
Looks like Desire is able to get from behind, able to get 2 picks from the enemy team right now. And they sweep it up easily.
Yeah, Mando really didn't have much of a chance there for the one towards the end there. And perhaps that defender's advantage might be something that will play into the favor of Disrespect coming into it, because they were able to take 1 round off, which means the pressure might be on for XF to make something special happen. As we can see, immediately we'll be throwing out those grenades as well in a number of areas just to get control of particular maps and make sure that there isn't any rushes happening or any funny business at the same time. No members down just yet. We are following Mando, who's beginning to take control of what seems to be this lobby side and trying to get the bomb in towards that A side. That seems to be the target for XF at this point in time.
It looks like we are able to get a pick from each side, which brings it down to a 4v4 situation. It looks like we're going to have a few of the Disrespect members grouped up together to be able to take shots for each other. But it just depends on what they're able to do here. Josh the Pro with the flank, able to get a quick kill onto Jade.
Does slide to the side there. He's going to find the kill. Elma jumps in, but ends up getting or being felled by a number of bullets from Josh the Pro. But as we can see in the end, Josh the Pro will fall down as well. And Disrespect. Woof. That is pretty good on the back end.
Desire to get that triple kill to clutch up the round. Final kill versus a sniper, which would have been... and that fight would have been more... well, balanced towards the sniper just because of the range. However, he is able to pick up the kill with his aim.
Moving now, what's going to be the 8th round here. Currently seems to be evening up for Disrespect. XF needs to obviously win at least another 2 rounds into it, but it looks like now they're finally beginning to amp up a bit more. They've managed to make this a 5v2 with Depressed finishing off Jade. You can see here, nice and controlled movements now from XF. Seems they're being a little bit more calm and collective, and it seems to be working going forward. As before, they were rushing pretty hard.
Yeah, maybe you were right about a potential defender's advantage, as we've seen Disrespect pick up the last 2 rounds.
Well, Elna and now Hypo looking to win against a 2v5 at this moment in time. XF taking things a lot slower. Do have that bomb planted as well. 30 seconds until it goes off. Typo now needs to come through. He's got the sniper, but it's going to be pretty hard against one of these QXRs or Bisons. And as you can see, he's immediately taken down. 5-3 now. Target is going to be 6. So this could possibly be the last round for XF, or Disrespect need to hold on and take the next 3 rounds of what will be the match point here in the search and destroy.
Yeah, as you might have realized, XF was able to take that last round without getting a single death. So they definitely played that round out really well, working together.
Well, as you can see here, things off to a quick start once again. XF going a little bit quicker, but will be 4v4 for the time being. Now it seems to be a number of shots going out in the end, but it seems that Disrespect are falling one by one with Recents taking out Rachel. We can see what happens to be the play here. Both of them just waiting out for the time being. Typo now gets a kill, but is going to be finished off by Depressed. Now it's going to be a 2v3.
Jaden and Alina really need to play their lives out really importantly right here. Unfortunately, Jade does go down to Resyncs in a 2v1 situation for Alina. Now this is make or break. Alina has to win this round, otherwise they're going to lose.
Just holding his position for the time being. Bombs are actually in a really rough spot for XF to get to. They need to get to that bomb first, and as you can see, it seems to be under control by Elna at this point in time. You can see they're trying to find a way to get in safely, perhaps looking to get the kill instead. And this is what happens when you do rush too quickly, drop the bomb in a bad spot. Players do need to try to get around. He's jumping on it now. As you can see, he's going to be immediately shot at, but he's got the bomb now, and that means that Elna's lost that advantage to defend. But Resyncs will find Elna at the very end there. You can tell we knew exactly where Elna was as soon as those shots were fired and the bomb was picked up, and Resyncs was just so quick to react to finish off that round, and it's going to be once again XF in dominating fashion, taking that second match and pushing it into what will be a clean sweep in that final round. Looking at the score here, Resyncs 11-60, definitely being what seems to be the MVP of the match for XF that round, whereas Josh the Pro not being as pro as usual, just being a little bit more supportive in this search and destroy.
Yes. Right now, we're going to see on the enemy team, we have Desire with 11 kills and 6 deaths. So what that's saying is basically he is going to be the main support for the Disrespect team, and he will be the key player to look out for if you're playing for XF.
Well, things definitely slamming off here as well, as we are what could be the next final match here if XF is managing to take it away from Disrespect. Of course, it is going to be Domination as per the original format. It will be Firing Range. Now, Firing Range, we haven't actually seen this map. Has been sitting towards the back ends in terms of the map pools going forward. So a little bit of difference finally coming through. Firing Range, a map that I haven't had the most experience on. Mao, what's your take on Firing Range?
Right now, Firing Range has to be one of my favorite maps, and I know it's very loved in the Call of Duty community. Every time I'm doing a rank match and there's a map vote for deciding what map the players are going to be playing, I always see like every single player voting for Firing Range. It doesn't really matter what the other map is, unless it's like Standoff, maybe Raid sometimes, maybe some Nuketown Russia, because some people are just trying to have some fun, not looking for the win, more just to shoot people. But what I've seen is Firing Range is definitely one of my most favorite maps in Call of Duty, and it's always been up the top for scrims. So they're definitely going to be having
Disrespect to pull something special here.
Yeah, they're definitely both going to have a lot of experience on this map, know where they're going to be spawning, know where they're going to possibly be, know all the secret spots, they probably just know the map inside out.
Well, that being said, though, we'll be jumping into this Firing Range Domination here. Now, to be said here with Firing Range, it was actually the left out map in this scenario. It wasn't picked or banned away by the teams in any sense, which is why it's sitting here in the middle. This is what the Domination round is for. As we can see, moving into it, well, it's just going to be a bit of a warm-up round between the players while everyone is getting in. So everyone's just going to have a bit of fun, throw things around. I mean, I don't think Josh the Pro would run into 3 players just like that as per normal. So nothing too crazy happening for the time being. But with this Domination coming into play, obviously going to be very quick movements. People looking to control A, H, and C. Looks of things there. It looks like it's going to be a bit of an advantage here for Disrespect with those closer spawns for themselves there.
Okay, we're going to be seeing Disrespect capturing the on the C side of this map at the beginning of the match. I personally prefer the C side just because while you're capturing the C flag, you can throw a nade onto the A flag to get them off if they're not using a tribute system. But we're going to be seeing XF with a lot of control over trailer, which is definitely a very important position that you want to have at all times, no matter what you're going for. We're going to see Josh the Pro going up the top. However, he does get picked off by Desire, who's watching that. We're going to be seeing players at the top of Wood. We're going to be seeing players at the top of Tin. We're going to be seeing players at the bottom of Wood. We're going to be seeing them everywhere right now.
Yeah, FX trying to flip around through the bottom side of the map, see perhaps if they could take control of A and C, instead of just leave what seems to be B just chilling out in the middle there. But that being said, Disrespect running away with this match. Domination seems to suit them well, 20-4, and XF can't get in this scenario.
Yes, they've already got the triple cap so early into the round. It's just been over 1 minute before the match started, and they've already got a triple cap 6-28. They definitely know this map in the back of their heads. I know that this map is like probably the most highly played map in like COD competitive, so it's very good to see that they know their knowledge on this map.
Most of these players now beginning to spawn, it seems to be XF on that bottom side, Disrespect taking the bottom, and you can see now those kill streaks beginning to take a little bit of an advantage for Disrespect, who are continuing to hold the lead for the time being, but finally XF have managed to get some sort of control back into it and might be able to bring things back into play.
They got really close to triple capping, however, it was Disrespect that was able to stop that capture on the B flag. And right now, they're going to go for it again. They've got A, B, and C, and now they've already got the triple cap down. So there's both. It depends. Both teams are playing this very well. They've both got the triple caps. They've both got the map control. It's all dependent on if they can win those fights. Disrespect will pick up A, and it looks like they're going to be going straight back at it, recap it as soon as it happens.
But at the same time, XF are still in control of more points of this, which means they are racking up extra points. Disrespect's lead is beginning to dissipate, while XX is actually mandating superior control on the map. Another kill streak is coming down as well at the same time in order to maintain control and keep things under wraps on that C side. And you can see they're just beginning to hold the middle area of the map and rotate around of B where Disrespect is not, and just hold this control of extra 2 points. And that is, again, 47-55 for the time being.
Yes, also I just want to talk about Reese, since I've seen him use the LK24. It's definitely a solid gun, but I haven't seen someone use it in this tournament yet. I know it's definitely one of the better ARs. However, it's not commonly picked over the dominators that there is right now, such as the Bison, such as the QXR, such as the QQ9. And it looks like we are going to see XF holding these flags very well. We're going to see Manda go down to Typo. We're going to see operators going off right now. I'm not sure if this is the smartest decision, but I'll let them play their own game.
Operators come in, and XF still maintaining control. Have managed to take the lead, 73-67. Of course, target to reach until we get to the first half is 75. And even though it was Disrespect with a commanding start, it is going to be XF who decide to finish the fight, 75-67. We're now moving into the second part of this third match between XF versus Disrespect. Again, XF up 2-0 for the time being, and things coming up very quickly once again.
Yes, even though Disrespect was able to get the early lead with that triple cap, XF have shown us that they are able to come back, recuperate, realize what's going on, working together, getting those triple caps going, and taking that lead.
B still being a little bit under pressure for the time being, as we can see. There's going to be Typo trying to encroach on it there, and Disrespect doing a pretty good job now into the second part of the match to control at least 1 point and actually stop XF from running away with this game. XF now really are trying to get control from that, I guess you could say, left side of the map in this scenario, A towards B, and is now beginning to encroach through to cap middle finally, which has yet to be capped by any of the members.
It might, depending on how the teams are deciding to play this out, we might see them play slowly or make sure to get that map control before going on the B flag. Or what they could do is they could just go crazy, just go on it and just see how long they can fend their enemies off for while making progress. We are going to see Disrespect get back the A flag, which they started off with. We're going to be seeing Annihilators from multiple players. We're seeing Jade with the Annihilator right now. See what they can do with it. They're going to be... Oh, it ran out.
a bit of a quick slide. There's not going to be able to do too much, and as you can see here, seems to be Elena doing a bit of a good stuff, but Josh the Pro will finish off what seems to be that kill streak from happening. Typo there does do a fantastic shot to put down Manda. As you can see here, Predator Missile coming down and is going to do a little bit of damage in the back of it, but finally XF seem to be getting control of B and without sacrificing C.
Yes, also right now, when we were spectating Jade, I realized that she did have many streaks. She had a Hunter Killer, she had a Predator Missile, and she also had a Goliath, which is going to be a very strong weapon to get some captures. As she puts it down right now, it's going to make sure that no enemies are nearby to take over it.
Seems
So
to
she's going to
be...
be getting into the Goliath. I'm curious to see how the enemies can take this Goliath down. They don't have any Annihilators. They don't have... Oh, we've just got one Annihilator prepared right now.
Seems to be what is in play there
Jade
now.
going to the A flat. They are triple cap. Unfortunately, the Goliath is destroyed by an FHJ, one of the primary counters to the Goliath.
Very quick thinking there coming through from XF to just sort of take that one out for the time being. But that being said, now we're beginning to move into this next part of the round. XF now has what seems to be complete control and is now beginning to finish off the last bits of Disrespect, who seems to be a bit broken now after that Goliath went down.
Right now we're seeing some kills from Discount, and it looks like this is going to be XF's game. We've had 3 clean sweeps. What a day.
Back to back, it was XF versus KND first, managed to get that 3-0. Mind Freak then showing their domination against IFM, and then XF coming back again for a repeat performance against Disrespect. So really a lot of strong contenders really showing their stuff today in this COD Community Challenge, or COD Mobile Community Challenge. With everything that's being said here, pretty crazy. I mean, they are playing for a $9,000 prize pool. $3,000 is going to be going to the first place winner, and it seems to be a lot of people probably gunning for that $3,000 prize here, and actually going to be a lot of good contenders. I'm really excited to see how XF perform in this tournament going forward, because they seem to be a dark horse.
Yes, right now, as we can see, the MVP being depressed, which is nice to see. The variety of MVP is showing that they can all pull their own weight. And from Disrespect, we're seeing once again, we're going to have Desire top fragging, showing that he can do a lot of things by himself. He can slay the kills, he can capture the objectives. So he's the strongest link in that team.
Yeah, Disrespect really showing that he's going to be a player that's going to be crucial to Disrespect's success as the tournament goes on. Of course, not the best performance from the whole team, but still there's plenty of time, plenty of options for them to get some wins as the tournament goes on. The round robin phase will be going for a decent chunk of time, and I'm a big fan and someone who becomes has an idea of incremental improvement playing a big role and perhaps allowing them to take control later into the competition. That being said, though, I mean, that's it for the rest of the day. Is there any final thoughts, coming into this, Mao, before we do close out the day and let everyone know what's going to be happening in the future?
Right now, I've got my eyes set on Mind Freak. Right now, I do think they're going to be the most difficult opponent to defeat. However, I have seen XF, and they've done very well. I haven't really heard their name before this, but I can see that they definitely know what they're doing, and they're definitely a worthy competitor for these top-tier teams such as Mind Freak and IFM.
Really showing us that there is an X factor into this competition that we thought Mind Freak and IFM would be completely dominating. So really excited to see this tournament progress further. That being said, that is everything for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching everything through. We'll be back next week at 1 p.m. to continue the Activision COD Mobile Community Challenge. We'll see you guys next week.